got Rafael Lovato Jr. back here on the program. This kind of feels like Groundhog Day saying this, but he's fighting John Salter coming up here at Bellator 205 on September 21st. Rafael, how are you today?
I'm excellent. Thanks for having me on.
No, it's great to talk to you again. I know you got class coming up here soon. That's why we're live on location. And I joked off the top about this being Groundhog Day. Thoughts on this fight being rebooked. You were supposed to fight him last time. Unfortunately, he was pulled out during fight week. Are you happy to have this fight rebooked?
I'm very happy. You know, like I said before, last time around, John has totally solidified himself as being one of the best in the division. Definitely worthy of a title shot himself. And so I just feel like, it's what I got to do. If I want a title shot, it's only right that I fight John and am able to get through him first. So I was pretty bummed out last time when we weren't able to fight. I was hoping to be fighting for the title at this point in the year. But they put together this Musasi McDonald thing. So when I heard about that, I was like, you know what, let's do me and Salter right now. That way there's no question that I have earned my title shot, and I do it the right way.
Yeah, no, I agree. The timing of this is kind of interesting, so I think it does work out in terms of the matchup. But we got to talk about your last fight. Another short notice replacement opponent. This time it was Gerald Harris at Bellator 198, and you get another first-round finish. You must have been pretty happy going out there and once again getting the finish.
I was definitely, obviously happy for the victory, happy to not really, no scratch, not get hit, nothing, I was able to walk away just fine and get right back to training. But there was a bit of like this feeling of an unsatisfied feeling because, I was so ready to go, for much longer and show a lot more of my skills. But he obliged into the ground game with me and gave me the opportunity to do what I do best. So it is what it is. And for me, at first kind of being like, I was so ready for, a war. Now I feel like that's just more skills that I have sort of kept under wraps, that I can pull out whenever I need it. And people don't know what to expect from me.
A lot of times when you and I talk, I know you do some cross training. You go down to Brazil. You do a little bit of work down there. How have you structured this training camp? I know this fight's about a month away, but is the plan to do more of that cross training, or are you going to stay at home base for this camp?
No, same thing, man. I actually just got home from Miami on Saturday. I was there for 2 weeks and had a really great phase of my camp there. I was training at the Budokan University with my instructor there, Cameron Shane. He's a movement specialist. Like he's an incredible guy, and he can move in ways that it's just very inspiring. And I've been working with him now for almost a year, and he just kind of provided like a home base for me. So I also had my Muay Thai coach, Mauricio Veo there from Evolution Sao Thai, Shanji Ibero, who's a 7-time world jiu-jitsu champion, the greatest heavyweight in jiu-jitsu of all time. Basically my brother. We've been training together for 15 years. He was there as well at the same time. And then Josh Berkman, who is also a student of Cameron, super experienced MMA fighter, has had like 50 MMA fights, fought in the UFC. He was there as well. So I had a very nice team kind of put together there. And I was basically training all day long, doing Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, MMA, wrestling, and then doing movement and yoga in between for recovery. So I'm already like in really great shape and hitting new levels with my game. And I'm home for a few days, and Saturday I go to Brazil. Saturday to spend another 2 weeks there, and that'll really be the hardcore kind of final push in my camp. There's tons of professional fighters down there at the Evolution Sao Thai team in Curitiba, and so basically there's just going to be a lot of sparring, sharpening the weapons and taking everything that I've already been working and developing thus far and putting it to the test against all the monsters down there. And that's the final push. Come home, and just stay healthy, get the weight down, and we go to war.
And who are some of the fighters you get to train with back at home?
Well, here, my school is mainly a jiu-jitsu school, so I have a couple guys that fight, but here mainly I focus on my wrestling, my grappling, my jiu-jitsu, and I have great wrestlers here, so I focus on that area, and then I also have a really great strength and conditioning coach here. So when I'm at home, it's more jiu-jitsu, wrestling focused, with a lot of conditioning. But I do have some guys that are really tough, and when you line them all up and you put yourself in the middle round after round, they can definitely push me and get allow me to get my work in. So, but my focused sparring, was taking place in Miami, and now when I go to Brazil, I'll have tons of training partners there, a lot of big guys and several southpaws as well, which will be really beneficial for me, considering John's a southpaw.
And who's going to be in your corner for this fight? A lot of different bodies, there are a lot of different camps you're working with. So how do you determine the corner?
Well, actually, my corner is the same. The same corner I've had basically ever since my first fight. It'll be Mauricio, my Muay Thai coach, Shanji Hibero, my Jiu-Jitsu coach, and just close brother. Actually, they're both my brothers, really. My for 10 years. He's one of my Jiu-Jitsu black belts, and I'm one of his Muay Thai students. Shanji, I've been training with for 15 years. We've been through it all together, and my father. So it doesn't get any better than that. That's my family. That's my team. And I'll have several other people there to support as well. But those are the ones that are in my corner.
How do you see this fight playing out on September 21st? Another submission that seems to be your sort of your MO in your career.
I don't know.
Fair enough.
I'm ready for everything. It's hard to make predictions. I try to stay away from that. The only thing I see is my hand getting raised, but I do believe that it'll be some sort of finish. John has finished everybody. He's never gone the distance. I've only gone the distance one time out of my 8 fights. So we're both finishers, and I think he's definitely coming to finish me, and I'm coming to finish him. So I believe that it's not going to go the full time. But on the other hand, we are both very technical, and our skill set is similar. So I would lean to say that it's probably not going to be something in the first round, maybe second or third round, something later in the fight. But I have no idea what it'll be. But I believe that I will get the job done before the 15 minutes is up, and I'll be getting my hand raised at the end of the night.
Who do you think wins that title fight coming up here between Rory and Gegard Mousasi? Just as an outsider, how do you see that fight playing out?
I would definitely be putting my money on Mousasi. Your first fight up in a division, it's a pretty big task taking on Mousasi at a new weight. Obviously McDonald's been in wars, very well rounded. It's going to be a great fight, and arguably one of the most technical fights that's probably ever taken place in Bellator. We'll see what happens that night, but two guys that are super well-rounded, don't have too many holes, and tons of experience between the both of them. So, like I said, though, I was gonna definitely put my money on Mousasi. He's bigger. I think McDonald's main chances are going to be using his wrestling, and I think the size, and Mousasi has good takedown defense. He was fighting some of the great wrestlers in the UFC. I think, he's going to be able to keep the fight where he wants it, and it could go the distance, but, I believe Mousasi is going to be winning most of those rounds for sure.
This is going to be an awesome card. It's coming up here September 21st. It is Bellator 205. Rafael, it is always good talking to you. I always appreciate you taking the time. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you have any sponsors or shout-outs, the floor is yours.
Well, I'm pretty easy to find on social media. My Instagram and Twitter at Lovato Jr. BJJ. That's LOVATO JR BJJ. Facebook, just type my name. You'll be able to find me right next to Demi Lovato.
Right, that's true, yeah.
But my website for my school, okbjj.com. if anybody out there is in the Oklahoma City area, come by, check out my academy. We are for everybody, no experience required, from kids 4 years old all the way through men, women, everybody. We have students all the way into their 60s. So let's see, other than that, sponsors, War Tribe Gear, Brookover Enterprises, White Equipment Rental, On It. Those are my main sponsors. Appreciate all their support. Yeah, Bellator 205. I'll be the co-main event and ready to solidify my #1 contender status so I can get that title shot next. I really appreciate all the support. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it, James.
What's up, fight fans? If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to see even more interviews with your favorite UFC and Bellator fighters. We've also got coverage at events, including post-fight press conferences and media scrums. And if you like this video, check out the video to my right. It's worth your time.